They say that morgues don't operate at night. That's what it says in the instructions. That's what people believe. But no one talks about what happens inside when the doors are closed. I got a job as an orderly in the city morgue by accident. A temporary job, night shifts, good pay, minimal contact with living people. The supervisor warned me right away. At night, you're alone here. Cameras only in the corridors. Don't enter the storage halls without a reason. And never open the refrigerators after 2 am. I asked why. He looked at me for too long. Because after 2 they're not always empty. First night the morgue was old. An old building. White tiles yellowed with age. The smell wasn't sharp. It just existed. Always. At midnight everything was calm. I drank tea. Scrolled my phone. Listened to the hum of the refrigeration system. At exactly 1:47, a sound rang out. Heavy. Metallic. As if someone had struck a door from the inside. I froze. I thought. Machinery. Pressure. Old pipes. Thud. Again. And then. Scraping. Slow. Long. Like fingernails dragging across metal. I stood up. Went to the corridor. The cameras showed emptiness. But one sensor was blinking. Camera number 3. The storage hall for unidentified bodies. After 2 the clock showed 2:01. I remembered the supervisor's words. And that was when I heard footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Not in the corridor. Inside the hall. I stood at the door. Unable to enter. My hand trembled on the cold handle. And then I heard a voice. Hoarse. Dry. Barely audible. Help. In here. The voice came from the refrigeration unit. From inside. Refrigerator 6. I don't know why I did it. Maybe fear is worse when you don't know. I opened the hall door. A dim light burned inside. The refrigerators stood in a row. One was slightly open. Number 6. I stepped closer. Every step echoed. Inside lay a body. A man. About 40. His eyes were open. And they were looking straight at me. His lips trembled. You came. I stepped back. My heart was pounding so loudly I could barely hear myself. That's impossible. He slowly turned his head. A crunch. Like dry branches. I've been here 3 nights already. And every night they come back. Who? He smiled. And at that moment the light went out. Those who didn't leave the darkness became complete. I heard breathing. Not mine. From all sides. The refrigerators began to open. Creaking. Metal. Footsteps. I turned on my flashlight. The beam caught a figure by the wall. Then a second. A third. They stood silently. Wrapped in hospital sheets. Faces. Grey, blue. Wrong. One whispered. As alive. Another. Still warm. The third laughed. Quietly. Joyfully. Then hell stay. Last shift. I woke up in the morning. On the floor near the entrance. The police said. Overwork. No traces. No records. Refrigerator number 6 was empty. The supervisor looked at me. You lasted longer than the others. The others? He closed the shift log. Those who heard them after 2. I quit the same day. Epilogue. A month passed. Sometimes at night I hear a sound. Thud. From the wall. From the closet. Or from the darkness behind my back. Yesterday I got a call. Unknown number. A hoarse voice said, "You forgot to lock us. We're coming soon." I looked at the clock. I hadn't slept all night. Sat on the bed in the dark. The phone lay nearby. The screen, black. The apartment was too quiet. Even for night. At 1:30 I heard a refrigerator. Not the one in the kitchen. The sound was different. Dull. Metallic. Thud. I slowly stood up. Walked down the corridor. Each step seemed louder than the last. The bathroom door was slightly open. I knew for sure. I had closed it. Cold came from inside. Not a draft. Real dead cold. I turned on the light. The bathroom was empty, but the mirror was fogged. On the glass someone was writing. Slowly. From the inside. Letters appeared one by one. 2 o'clock. I stepped back. My heart pounded in my throat. From the corridor came the sound of footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Exactly the same as in the morgue. I understood. They didn't come. I brought them with me. The cold room, the temperature in the apartment was dropping. My breath became visible. Frost spread across the floor. The kitchen refrigerator opened by itself. The door creaked. Slowly. Inside there was no food. There was a gurney. A morgue one. And on it someone was lying. I didn't step closer. I knew what I would see. The voice spoke immediately. You said you wouldn't forget us. It was him. The man from refrigerator number 6. We waited, he said. In the morgue. In the corridors. In the walls. And then you left. Others stepped out from the shadows. Slowly. They filled the kitchen. The room. The corridor. I realized there was less space. And almost no air. The rules, we can't leave on our own, the voice said. We need someone alive. Someone who hears. Someone who opens. You opened, they whispered. After 2. I closed my eyes. And heard doors slamming shut. One after another. When I opened my eyes, I was back in the morgue. Night shift. The tea still warm. The phone shows. 1:46. The supervisor sat across from me. Silent. Now you understand, he said. Why we change orderlies. Someone has to stay. He stood up. Opened the door. Don't be afraid, he said. You'll get used to it. After the 3rd night they stopped screaming. The clock clicked. 2 o'clock and refrigerator number 6 began to open again. Final. After the 2nd hour I stopped asking questions. In the morgue questions aren't needed. I understood that when I stopped feeling time. The nights no longer ended. The clock reached 1:59 and simply stopped. The hand trembled, but didn't move. Sometimes I tried to leave, went to the door, grabbed the handle, and heard behind me, the shift isn't over yet. The supervisor's voice no longer sounded human. New rules, I learned them quickly. First, if you hear knocking, don't answer. Second, if someone calls you by name, it's no longer you. Third, never look at who's lying on the gurney. I broke the 3rd rule on the 4th night. The gurney, it stood in the middle of the hall. Clean. White. With a sheet neatly tucked. I knew what would be there. But still, I stepped closer. I pulled back the sheet. There was me. Face, grey. Lips, blue. Eyes, half open. With the same look I had when I looked at refrigerator number 6. Get used to it, they said behind me. It's easier that way. I didn't turn around. I already knew who was standing there. Memory with each day, I remembered less. First, phone numbers. Then, names. Then, why an exit exists at all. Sometimes I heard people living above. Laughter. Music. Footsteps. And every time something inside tightened. As if I once had been there too. The last knock one night I heard footsteps. Not dead. Alive. Someone walked down the corridor. Hesitant, slow. I looked at the clock. 1:47, the door opened. A new orderly came in. Young. Scared. He looked at me. Have you worked here long? I wanted to say, run. Don't listen. Don't stay after